Drag cars are known for their immense power to be the quickest on the strip. They usually have a large V8 motor and an automatic transmission. With this drag car I plan on building, what if I slap a CVT to not have any slowdowns changing gears? I'll also twin charge the engine to improve its power efficiency. Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, and for the panel material of this here drag car, we'll be starting off with some good old fiberglass panel material to make this like a poor man's drag car. Not gonna go all with carbon fiber or nothing like that. Chassis type, for the first time in a while, a space frame type of chassis with light AHS steel with a front longitudinal engine placement. And for drag cars specifically, with the NHRA with the Pro Stock series, which is kind of what I'm going to be kind of like based off of in a way, with some rule breakings here and there. For the front suspension, we'll be using a McPherson front suspension, and the rear, which is required for drag strips, to have a 4-link suspension setup, which in particular will be a solid axle coil rear suspension. And it'll probably make this thing even lightweight, just quality spam. And for the drive type, this will be, of course, rear drive, and for an engine that we're about to be building. So this engine will be a V9 V8 engine made out of cast iron. And this engine, I think it'll be based off of the Chevy big block engine, the 572, an aftermarket drag built engine, which the bore will be set to 115.8 millimeters and the stroke at 111.1 millimeters, if I can type this in, which gives the family capacity to displacement of 9,361 cubic centimeters, or about, rounding this up, 9.4 liters, which is that 572. And good old push rod heads made of aluminum built race material for the head design. And I'm guessing for the internals, just pretty much just best materials without going full boat by titanium. I think they use titanium, but do forged for the heck of it. The compression and everything, well, first of all, cam profile, let's just jack this up to like a 90 or something like that. RPM, 8,000 for starters. I could probably bump this up a little bit more, but let's figure it out. And yes, like I said, twin charge it'll be for this engine. Twin turbos, we'll do something with the turbo and the supercharger. Probably drop this down in case the engine explodes. And no choice of being twin charged, it'll be an injection, so direct injection, single setup, because with supercharged engines, can't do twin or throttle per cylinder, unfortunately. And seeing that racing fuel per se doesn't really exist, like the 98s or something like that, or the 100 racing fuel, I guess the closest quote-unquote replacement for it is some E100 full-blown corn fuel. 100% ethanol at 103 AKI, will race it, take manifold. And finally, for the headers, tubular race, duals, something with the exhaust size, no cats and nothing like that, and valve float. God damn it. Because the springs and lifters are a joke. Not anymore, but we got a lot of room for improvement. Alright, what if I jack this bitch? Damn, 9,000 RPM, we still got some power going on up in here, but I haven't even touched the twin charger whatsoever, so I might have to... Wow, even more. I haven't even touched the freaking twin charger with any of the settings here just yet. I could probably make like 2,500 horsepower or something like that right off the bat. Let's see. Alright, so finalize this engine. I didn't want to go overboard with my tuning, my quality spamming, and this to that with the turbocharger, supercharger, internals, externals, and all that good stuff. So the final look at the specs and everything. So we get the final horsepower rating of 2,538 horsepower at 8,500 RPM, and a torque of 1,822 pounds-feet of torque at 5,400 RPM. So right away with this engine, if you know about like Pro Stocks and all that stuff with their engine limitations in a way, I know they are limited up to 500 cubic inches for their engines and right about up to 1,500 horsepower, and they are naturally aspirated. But this thing obviously breaks the rules as it's a 552, makes 1,000 more horsepower and all good stuff, and it's twin charged. So real briefly, let's give you a listen to this little illegal 572 drag spec engine right now. Okay then, so half Americana and half jet engine? If that's, I can summarize this engine? And obviously the second half of this drag car, like you've pretty much seen, it's a CVT, top speed, I don't know, 308. And the quality, which makes CVTs great again. There we go, plus 15. For the tires, for the first time in quite a while, we're using some radial racing tires and some drag tires. And for the size, I know they kept these stupid low up front. Like, maybe let's do like a 155 and... Ooh, I have to do something with the freaking diameter, rim size, and do this probably manually with the advanced trim settings with the back tires, because I know they run like something stupid like 27 or not 27, 36 inches in the back, like the tire diameter. I'll probably deal with that some other time once I can get the chance on how I can run this setup for BeamNG and everything. And the brakes are going to be fairly useless, but useful in a way. So carbon ceramic 6 pistons, who needs them anyways? Carbon ceramic 6 pistons, who need those anyways? Racing spec, quality. The under tray, I would say flow optimized because it's only good for going in a straight line, all that good stuff. Brake airflow, 10. And for the interior, who needs the back seats and the front passenger seats to have a single driver, racing spec interior, no entertainment whatsoever. And make this lightweight to optimize the weight. Steering, I'm guessing, rack opinion, ABS brakes only, and no safety standards to eliminate as much weight as possible. Same thing for dropping the quality, too. The suspension, I'm guessing standard springs, gas monotone dampers, active sway bars, race setting, and where do we stand? Understeering because, well, it's a drag car. Needs power steering, IDFC. And the front brake force is very rear and front brake force. Wow, I guess 160mm brakes at carbon ceramic 6 pistons really work out with a full-blown racing pad type. That's great. Alright, so going into the rim size, I looked this up. So the rim size, I'm going to be setting this to a 16s for the front and the back. And for the front tires, they run at a diameter of 660mm. And the backs, they run up to 860mm, which really envelops the entire rear fender, goddamn. And I have to lower the ride height to try to level this out. So rear ride height, I'm guessing, where do I go? 10? 12? I think 12 seems level. And to do something about the rear to put this inward, because some of the drag cars with the rear tires, they don't have it like poke it out like this up against the body, the wheel well, and everything else in general. They're usually poked inwards, so wheel offset. Seems legit. And not only that, they have to be stupidly wider than this, so 50 seems legit. Be safe to start, let's do a 60. 65. There, 65 would... that'll do. And for record with the CVT, what if I kept it at a 0 for the reliability, because it was 0.2 and negative 39%. Yep, this is why CVTs aren't really that good for race cars, and I gained 300 pounds by dropping the quality down to a 0. What if I make it a negative 50, like Nissan level? Yeah, this is Nissan CVTs, alright. 46.3, negative 46.3% reliability, 4,000 pounds. I gained damn near 600 pounds, a little more than 600 pounds, yeah? So if you want to make the most heaviest car, use a CVT, I guess. And 15 plus 15, about 900 pounds. God damn. Screw you in my 600 pound life, that's what you get. So anyways, I'll pretty much be done with the actual, like, the building part of the car. So final look at the specs and everything. So everything is in check with the whoopsie daisies, the brakes and all that good stuff, the interior, safety, and suspension. So it's prepared to design the car, as is the time-lapse, which I believe it won't be that long for me to build because it's just a race car, just the decals, the fake headlights, grills, and all that good stuff, the sponsors. And I'll probably do a custom livery if I can get a chance or something like that, because that's the thing I'm about to do too, get a custom livery going on here. So anyways, let's get you going on the time-lapse of this design right now. So for the design of this car, I spent roughly an hour to get this first part done. For the front, it's fairly basic with the headlight and grille setup. I'd say it's a crossbreed between the Chevy Camaro and Dodge Charger. I chose these vanilla headlights combined with a top grille. Then, I used another vanilla grille fixture for the bottom, followed by the name of the car, which is called the Potomac, which is a name parody to Chevy's Camaro. For the hood, I slapped on a drag spec ram air hood scoop commonly seen in pro stock drag cars. For the sides, first, I cut out part of the rear fenders to make room for the large tire. Then, I did the same thing to the doors by adding a same fixture kit as this is a NASCAR car body. I plopped the same fixtures to make up for the door lines if you were to get in and out of the car. For the back, I slapped on the only drag racing wing that exists in automation, which is a modded fixture from the Steam Workshop. I also added a wheelie bar on the rear of the car that's attached to the chassis, including a pair of boxes that are some wannabe parachutes as there isn't a bag or parachute fixture in automation. After finishing up the core design, I went ahead and applied the custom livery to the car. I purchased a handful of racing liveries on Creative Fabrica from the user 21 Graphic. I ended up choosing this yellow and black one and aligned it to the car to the best of my ability. After that, I slapped on the fake sponsors all over the car. I put them on the hood, bumpers, hood scoop, the sides, the rear wing, and other parts of the car. This took about another hour doing all this, which also includes the finishing touches to the car. So, after getting everything done with this build, here's how it came out. This is the 2010 Serpent Potomac Drag Edition. This pro stock drag car on steroids breaks the rules of a pro stock drag car. It's armed with an oversized, twin-charged V8 with a revolutionary CVT transmission. How will this hold up in BeamNG? So after getting the Serpent Potomac, the drag edition, all done up in here in its sponsorified custom livery that I freaking purchased for less than a couple dollars from a website, Glory, and all that good stuff. Before heading over to BeamNG.drive, despite these lots of problems we got going here, such as the car's weight and the lack of power steering, the car is under steering, the front and rear dampers are quite hard, the front brake force is very high, the engine bay is very full, the current's front edge is very narrow, the gearbox reliability is low due to excessive torque, the front camber is very high, quality issues, front tires are narrow, and the rear tires are wide. Let's jump on over to BeamNG.drive and rip ass on the drag strip. So here we are at the map of West Coast USA with the car shut off because this son of a bitch is loud, which you'll see a little bit later. So we're just outside a drag strip, and I'll be prepping myself to do the base performance test with an untreated surface and a treated surface, which will be the drag strip. In particular, we're going to be running two of the tests, particularly the first two, the 0 to 62 acceleration test, the 62 to 0 brake test, and a top speed run to see how the CVT drag car performs. So the first wave, which will be the untreated test, start this boy up, and not go right away. And do the 0 to 62, so let's just run it as so. Dad jiggle 0 to 62 in 1.81 seconds of 93.97 feet, god damn. Probably had to lower the freaking hub stiffness and everything to get this thing prepped for the drag strip. So brakes, that was a 63, and it was 63 to 0, technically 62 in 2.52 seconds, 105.98 feet. And yes, listen to that Americana glory. It's like I literally have to be like somewheres over here to be comfortably enough to talk up in here because this thing is so damn loud. So, grade 0 to 62, the acceleration, and piss poor brakes. How about on a drag strip? And a drag strip, same test, go. In park, 1.10 seconds at 53.86 feet, that's what I'm talking about. No jiggliness right there, so I guess I don't really have to do the stiffness or this and that, so I may have been late by a smidge. 61 to 0 in 2.57 seconds of 99.37 feet, so a smidge better in terms of distance by a few feet with the untreated surface. Now let's launch this bitch and do the top speed run, so 3,000... A little bit of worse 0 to 62, 123, 68.90 feet, turbocharged overheating, and 290 or no? 270? 280 miles an hour, and we're launching the bitch at main engine broken. There goes the car going into the highway, slowed us down a little bit to 16. Land on our wheels, there goes the engine still tumbling inside the car, there goes 3 of the 4 wheels. Yes, we still got the front right attached into the telephone pole. Hold on a minute. Half-ass on the controls there. So hit the telephone pole and ricocheted onto the shrubs. And what is that? The wing? No, that's part of the wheelie bar, the steel tubes. Damn, so the wheelie bar traveled pretty much in line with the car. And wheelie bars, the wheels, are somehow still attached with the little clamps, so they half-ass attached to the car, to the wheelie bar and all that stuff. Wow. This is what happens when you buy American. So the car, despite being fiberglass, the parachutes, quote-unquote parachutes, are still attached. And, oh, we still got 2 wheels, just missing the left ones. Damn, so the car, in terms of the body styling, still held its shape despite all that brutality received from going that fast. And for the drag test I'll be doing here, let's see how well it does on a drag strip with the Sportsman tree here. So we got, there we go, 2 are stage lights, and go. 126, little minor wheelie there, but not that much, and 664 of 224.07 miles per hour. So this thing runs in the 6s pretty comfortably. I tested out this particular car, particularly a prototype car, and got like a 6.4, almost like a 6.3 before starting out this video with the same body and a less powerful engine, so... Ooh. Damn! That's what happens when you launch 2,500 horsepower, a little bit too hard, mate. Alright, second launch, a 134, and 667, or 677. See? When I launch it around like into 3s right there, that's where the wheels start jiggling to the point where it's slowing me down. See? In the 7s. What if I drop the stiffness a little bit? Where did I go here? Control W? And under tuning, drop the, I'm gonna say the rim stiffness to like, let's see right around like in the 70s, as well as the tire stiffness. I'm trying not to have that jiggle, like big time jiggling and slow me down coming off the strip, off the line. I want this to be like smooth running from the get-go, from the start to the very end. And a little bit of a lag there, and scrapiness, 680. It's almost a point I should just wait up until I find a good time for y'all to do. Oh wow, 0.99 seconds, under a whole second. 630, here we go. That's what I was at with the test drag car, around like a 6.3, almost 6.2. That's what I'm talking about. And we're in a damn sand pit. Now, that is a 0 to 62 in almost a whole second, 0.99. That's what I was aiming for all this time. Alright, so next, I'll do a pair of drag races here at both here, West Coast USA and Hirochi, before taking us out of the track to see how it really performs on the track. I'll start off with the drag bars, though, and see how well I perform versus my car versus that car. So hopefully, I won't lose my wheels here, so stage... There we go, ripped ass. Ripping his ass personally. Watch the center line. Yep. Stop the vehicle. Neutral. Brakes. Save me, please. They're doing well because I put this bitch in neutral. And first, 632. Thank you, stars. Thank you very much. So, literally, no competition whatsoever. Can I view the stats? So I was the winner, going 178 miles an hour versus 124 miles an hour, almost 125 with the Gavril Barstow. And reaction time, look at this, perfect, 0.000, perfect reaction time. Man, NHRA, IHRA, somebody sign me up because I'm making these perfect-ass drag times, these reaction times on a Sportsman tree. How about for a pro tree at Hirochi a little bit? Okay, second opponent, we got the Bruckle 9, the drag van variant up in here. So on the stage light pre-stage, half-ass on the stage light. Am I good? Now I'm good, and give me the lights. Poor launch, but good enough. Again, smoked his ass, no problem. 6449, and you ready to get it, bro? Worse, a 120 versus a 190. Still beats at a 137. Wow, he was a bit quicker. Alright, so here we are at Hirochi Raceway with the Bastion drag I'll be versing against. So let's see how a Bastion will go against the Serpent Potomac. And of course, this will be the drag tree, the real drag tree, so. That was a great reaction time. Burn Joe as per usual. I wish we should, like, versus my car because this is like nothing. No competition whatsoever between a stock BeamNG vehicle versus my car. About the same ass time like what I got on the West Coast. And again, perfect reaction time. Sign me up, boys. I'll be in the pro stocks in no time. Alright, AI. Can you handle my car? I cloned up the same exact Potomac. And let's see how well the AI can handle my car on the line, again, with the same approach. He's over the line! DQ'd! DQ'd! I could sit here all day, bro. You're DQ'd. False start. I technically won because he stopped the vehicle. Disqualified. I got the same time. Nice. Okay, bro. Stop on the line. Okay, you hear me? Stop on the line. Over the line. He's over the line. Watch. DQ'd. Oh, no. He was behind the line. Okay, good. Got him. I was kind of, like, worried about him for a second. Like, I was staring at him thinking, like, he's going to be over the line, but he wasn't. And a 6-4 even. Nice. And yes, that is why I had a poor reaction time of a 2.59, because I was staring at the other car thinking, like, he was going to be over the line, but he wasn't over the line. Now let's head next door on the racetrack and see how it performs with some lefts and rights and all that good stuff. So got myself to the actual racetrack here at Hirochi, and we were doing 2 laps with the short race circuit layout of this here circuit for our time trial run. So we'll start things off here in 3, 2, 1, soft launch in park. Fair enough, and oh, turbocharged. The coolant pistons, help me! I can't go. Now I can go. Head gasket damaged. I can no longer comfortably drive this car because this thing can't even get the power down to the rear wheels. It's like I gotta keep this thing. Literally, I gotta like rev this thing past around rev line to have it do its job. So this thing accelerates uncontrollably. Look, red line, still red line. Now it's going. It just doesn't want to accelerate half the time. It's not traction control because I only got his ABS brakes, and that's it. Still, now it goes. Help me. N-word. Alright, coming. Ooh, nice drift. Coming to our first lap. Engine oil critically low. Did I hit the checkpoint or no? Yes I did. God damn, yes I did. So that's a checkpoint marker. And I can't believe the engine hasn't blown up yet. Block melted. Uh-oh. We're still going. We are still going. This damn game ain't telling me when to quit. I swear. Oh, no. Am I going to survive in the sand pit with these drag tires? Yeah, still got momentum. A lot of momentum, and for it, we're going to be in the 3s. Under 3 minutes. Looks like a 2:57. And we're going in hot. 2 minutes, 58 seconds, 796 milliseconds, putting me just behind my Mr. 000 days of the overpowered fire truck, which I made like literally years ago. Friday, 2020, January 31st, 2020. Yep, good old times, eh? So go to free roam, and the car, main engine broken, or I think main engine broken. Please damage meter. Yep, engine broken. That's what I was looking for, game. So anyways, final part of the video. Let's throw this bad boy off a big-ass cliff, aka Car Jump Arena, and I think there's an update to this that I gotta download manually. So anyways, take it to the top of the ramp and drop this bad boy down there right now. So here we are at the top of the ramp with the car. So we got ourselves a 2 light into 3 light, and we got the 4th light, and finally the 5th light. And launch this bad boy, manually go. Not gonna scroll down the camera, watch my speed. There we go. Launch this bad boy. Turbocharger, pistons, rings, damage. Airspeed, we're over 230. 240 miles an hour is our airspeed. We didn't reach 280 miles an hour as I once was aiming for in automation, and where we're gonna land. So in the 658, 59, right? Yep, so 658, so full time. Rolling over, and just doing some ninjutsu stuff because, well, that's what sleep with the fishes, sleep with the fishes, sleep with the fishes, sleep with the fishes, sleep with the fishes. I get it, what sleep with the fishes, right? I want to say, the engine did some stereotypical ninjutsu stuff because that's how automation of BeamNG cars work in this game, so we're upside down. So, sleep with the fishes yet again. Onto some flat land, the engine is still smoking. So with the overall damage from a faceplant, we got the ram air, we got our RKS Folly, and our sponsors still in place after the collision. I say the ram air is gone. This thing is jacked up, and everything about the car, the rest of the car, is still jacked up. Our wheelie bars are somehow still in place with the clamps intact. I just don't get how they're still in place after all that. And a couple of sponsors, our ammonia, whatever, is all jacked up in our Orca Express. Rip to these guys. So, with the Serpent Potomac, this particular drag car of being 2,500 horsepower, twin-charged, and having a CVT, well, I can only say the only good thing it is, it's good in a straight line. It can do pretty well in the mid to low sixes with the drag time of a quarter mile, and that's pretty much it. If you were to take this thing around the track, especially with the on-off acceleration and braking, don't even do so. As you've seen around the racetrack at Hirochi, even if you were to be on the throttle, it just refused to put the power down because that's what CVTs do, I guess. So, is a CVT powered drag car a feasible option? Yes, for a video game it is, but in real life, I doubt it because it'll probably explode once you put the power down, once you put this thing in drive. So anyways, that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. So this is TRIZE Rising Up, and signing out.